Are you serious? Are you serious? Welcome, folks. I'm so glad you're with me for this broadcast. And my special guest from GetTheTea.com, Ronnie McMullen. And I always love it when Ronnie's here. Ronnie, great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me back. How you doing, Pastor?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. I'm energized. I think it's because I've been drinking a lot of GetTheTea.com. I think it is. Anyway, folks, you're here for a great program. We're going to be talking about some very, very important subjects as it relates to holistic medicine, if you will, and supplements and our health. And also, we're going to find out a little bit more about the FDA, a little bit of their role in the overall medical field and the health of every one of us here. I just saw, Ronnie, that Obamacare may get repealed in the tax bill, not the whole Obamacare, but the mandate part of it. They just announced that an hour ago. That the Senate may vote that. What's your take on that for a moment?
Well, I thought it funny because supposedly we're supposed to repeal Obamacare and have a new health care bill that's going to be beautiful for us, and then we're going to go and do tax reform. This is what it's told to us clear back in January, okay? Now we're in November. We've got, 45 days roughly left of this year, and they're going, get this tax bill, but they're really not working on the health care bill. So the fact that it might have some provisions inside the tax bill says that they're never, and please hear me correctly on this, they're never going to kill the cash cow.
No.
Because Obamacare is a cash cow.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
They and them created it for a cash cow. If you notice anybody that has Obamacare and you went to renew for the new year, guess what your rates did? Did they go down?
No.
Did you get more benefits?
No.
And the answer is no. If you went up, and usually less benefits. So the cash cow is alive.
So they'll just do a little bit of window dressing, okay? A little peeling off here, a little peel there, but they're not going to touch the cash cow. They're never going to do it. They love to have that slush fund.
They love to feed the cash cow. He's a good cow. We pet the cow. We love the cow.
All right, Roddy. So let's talk.
I know it's sick, isn't it? But it's sick. Think about this. Here's one for you, Pastor. Think about this. So they're going to put this little fluffy puffy in the tax bill, right?
Right.
And they're going to turn the tax bill, and they're going to save us some money in taxes. That is a hint to everyone how big the cash cow is. They're willing to give you money back on your taxes, but we're not going to kill the cash cow.
No, so it's double talk and
sleight of hand.
Yes. And the Congress is so good at that. I mean, they are great at that. They
invented it.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the things. There's a drug. I take that back. It's not a drug. It's a supplement called Kratom. 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 An article just came out not long ago today in which Kratom, which is a natural it's a natural supplement that's used when people are addicted to opiates to get them off of it. By taking this, they can slowly ease their way off because, we know the opiate addiction problem is huge in this country. But the FDA says that maybe 36 people have died from this Kratom in the past year. And so they're looking at whether or not they should pull it out of the supplement section and give it some other kind of classification. Now, 33,000 people died from opiate overdoses. So can you help me understand? I mean, look, we need the FDA, but sometimes I feel like they pick on holistic medicine.
Well, they do, and okay, we need an FDA. I know everybody's going, Ronnie, did you say what you just said? Yes, we do need an FDA. We need a government. We need a true government. We need police officers. But when corruption enters in and police officers can get paid, and I'm not talking from the state, when they can get paid from another source to do things that are off the books, when the government can get paid from another source to do things off the books, and when the FDA can do things that are off the books to get, and they get paid, this is where we have a problem. And this we could pick on any certain establishment and do this. So what they're saying is the FDA, we need them, because we don't want supplements laced with some kind of drug. We don't want, rat poison in some of the supplements because there's not clean safe havens and houses to warehouse this stuff. So we can go on and on. But on the same token, when the supplement companies or holistic doctors are being picked on because Big Pharma wants to make their move, and of course we know Big Pharma has lots of money and they pay lobbyists very good money to get their way, and they pay Congress and Senate and everybody else very good money to get their way, this is where we have the problem. We had the same kind of problem with apricot seeds. Now, your normal apricot seeds, and people don't probably know this, but apricot seeds were used to fight cancer.
Really?
And
wait.
they're a natural form inside the apricot seed itself. And the apricot seeds has a couple of products in it that basically, one is called amygdalin and the other one is called Laetrile. Well, when Laetrile goes into the body, and the chemical basically, and it's also labeled as a B17, when this chemical is converted, it converts to cyanide. Well, cyanide is a killer.
Wait. So you're saying, I love apricots, by the way. I love apricots. But you're saying the seed of an apricot can be chemically manipulated into cyanide?
Yeah, your body will turn it into cyanide, very small amounts. And remember, it's not the seed itself. It's encased. There's like a golden substance inside the seed. You crack the seed, and inside of that is what you eat. I heard it's very bitter. I have apricot seeds myself. We have organic apricots on our property, and so we save the seeds in case of a rainy day. But and basically it cures cancer. It will kill cancer, and so guess what? Go try. I mean, it's just now I noticed I was pulling it up on the website, and there's a couple of places you can get wild apricot kernels, and so which is cool. But there for a while, you couldn't get any of this when they were going through it. You couldn't get any of this. They basically outlawed apricot seeds at all. You couldn't buy them. It was illegal to sell them.
Wow. So I understand, and we do have to have regulation. I mean, you have several, and folks, go to his website, getthetea.com. You'll see he has a lot of wonderful supplements, products besides the tea. He's just not about the tea. They got a lot of great, for instance, when you talk about curing cancer, or at least you have supplements that could certainly be cancer fighting, like the Allison Advanced and some of the others. Am I right, Ronnie?
There's a lot of good products. I got to be careful what I say here and not make claims, but let me put it to you this way. Let's speak a different code.
Okay.
First of all, I'll give a couple stats. 1 in 3 deaths in the U.S. caused by cardiovascular. Cardiovascular, by the way, heart attack. Okay. 48 to 46% of people have some kind of cardiovascular disease. So we have almost half the people in the United States have cardiovascular disease.
Are we higher for heart attacks than a lot of other countries because of our food?
Yes. Of course, yeah. Because I'm sorry, I'm going to be rude, but I don't mean to be rude, but we eat like cows.
Yeah.
And we eat our cows. And just so you know, when you go to the store and you buy beef, because everybody likes their beef, so you go to the store, you buy beef, the reason grass-fed beef is becoming so popular is because all the other beef is corn-fed. All corn-fed beef is GMO. So now you have a GMO product of corn, which is we can't reverse it and get normal corn anymore. So we have this GMO, which, by the way, GMO, genetically modified organism. It's an organism. It's not a God organism. It's a man-made organism. Okay, it's going to enter your body and jack you up. Okay, guess where it's sitting? It's in the corn, right?
Right.
Oh, wait a second. But the cows are eating what? Corn. So where is the GMO? It's actually in the meat. And you're eating the meat.
Wow.
So if you're having corn and meat, you're getting 2 doses of GMO.
Yeah.
And this is not counting the whole organic thing. So now we go, okay, I'm going to get smart. I'm going to go down and buy some organic corn. Do you know that you're still buying GMO corn? All organic means is the fertilizer that goes on top of it is organic, but it's still a GMO corn.
Well, now who's making that determination and allowing that to be on there? Is that done by the FDA?
Well, they should be watching this, but they're not. There's some loose laws. Did you know that a lot of organic fertilizers are still not organic because there's lobbyists? It is the biggest mess in the world, and I don't want to put all the bad guys' pants around their ankles, but so be it. So this is the issue that we have to realize is when we're having GMOs are not supposed to be in your body. And poisons are not supposed to be in your body. Most people are becoming gluten intolerant. It's so huge being gluten intolerant. They go, oh, it's the wheat, it's the wheat. Well, wait a second. Wait just a second. Didn't they talk about wheat in the Bible? I don't remember them talking about a gluten intolerance in the Bible. Do you?
No.
No. So what happened?
I mean, we do
and
know
here's
about
what happened.
we know about the
gluten.
The tares in the wheat. I mean, Jesus did say, let the tares grow along with the wheat, and then we'll separate in the end. I know.
And some weeds are good for you.
Right.
So it's not the weed, it's the gluten itself, the casein. But how come the casein is so dangerous for us now? Because they spray Roundup, glyphosate after they cut, they spray it one more time because it brings a bigger brings a bigger load. And so we get one nice fresh spraying of Roundup in our wheat.
Oh!
And our body is saying, I don't want any more poison. So this is why you react. And more people, a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm not gluten intolerant, but they have diarrhea, they can't eat right, they have stomach aches all the time. And by the way, if you cut gluten out of your body, you can do a 3-day test. That's how I figured out I was gluten intolerant. Just cut your wheat for 3 days. Cut anything that has wheat in it, any kind of flour, cut it for 3 days. See if all of a sudden your stomach changes. And it will. Your energy will go up by 100%. 100%.
Wow.
Just by changing that. So that tells you whether you're gluten intolerant. All of this is based on what? Poison. All based on what? GMO.
I mean, I'm right here.
Everything to where we're in trouble. Here's one for you. Did you know that diabetes it does a compromise of poor circulation, high blood pressure, and high glucose? So when you have diabetes, it's just not about high blood sugars. More than likely, you're going to get high blood pressure. You're going to have poor circulation, which that's why the loss of arms and legs and all this kind of stuff. And so you go, whoa, this is really tough. 69% of us adults are overweight or obese. 69%. Okay, 10% of us has diabetes, or 35% of us has pre-diabetes. 10% of the U.S. population. That's 39 million people have diabetes. 35%. So you're talking about 100 million of us have pre-diabetes, and 35% of adults have high blood pressure. So again, you're talking about somewhere around almost 120 million people have high blood pressure. Here's the kicker. You don't have to. Did you know that? You didn't have. Oh, I know, Ronnie, I go and I get my medicine. Yeah, ask the doctor, if you will. Doctor, I'm taking this medicine for high blood pressure. I'm taking this medicine, whatever you're taking. How long till and use the word, how long till I'm healed? How long till I'm cured? And guess what they're going to say? Never.
Never. I mean, you never get that, Ronnie. I mean, I did that the last time I was in to see my doctor. How long do I got to take this and then I'm healed? And he said, you get accustomed to this the rest of your life. Okay,
oh
so.
My gosh, do you know what we're talking about, Pastor?
What?
We're talking about the cash cow.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
It's called residual income.
Okay, but now, Ronnie, we understand. And I mean, it freaks me out every time I see a pharmaceutical commercial on television and they list what this drug is going to do. Tell your doctor about this, ask your doctor about this. But then it lists as 25 side effects. So my question is, and I don't know anything about Kratom. 36 people died. That's terrible. I don't know. I didn't see the medical examiners. I didn't see the forensic laboratory toxicology results of the cause of death. 36 people. But I got 33,000 people overdosing over here on opiates that they're prescriptions that they're getting. And I got 36 over here. Now, I'm trying to understand if this product is actually possibly is a good alternative, or it's a way to phase out, or is there other supplements that get pushed aside because it's not part of the cash cow? You know, are some of the supplements, you got great supplements, and I know you go through a lot, bilberry, grapeseed, you know, all of this Allison Advance, Essential Bees. Can you talk to people through how you were able to develop these formulas and their organic nature and their properties? I mean, you took a lot of reason that you put this together through some testing. Help the people understand, you know, and you don't list a million side effects with this stuff. Help us.
No, if you look at adverse effects, that's something we should talk about too. Adverse effects are really important. So in other words, when the doctor gives you a pharmaceutical and says, I'm going to prescribe XYZ, you say, okay, XYZ, this is good. You should say, doctor, what are the adverse effects? What you're asking him is, what's the dangerous sides of those drugs that you're about to take? And you'll watch the doctor's face change. Now, my point is when you look up supplements, and you need to do this, and now it sounds like with this Kratom we have 36 people that have died from supplements, but I would like to know, especially if the FDA is in charge, I would like to know those 36 people, was it because they were on the opiates and because it's coming off that they had their own problems and they died, or was it actually the Kratom itself? And these are all questions I'd have because I don't know the facts. I don't have the facts. But let's go not using the Kratom. There has been no adverse effects with supplements. How many people die from pharmaceutical drugs every year? The number is 100,000 plus.
Wow!
100,000 deaths of pharmaceutical drugs, okay, per year.
Just in America.
Therapy. We're not talking about any of this other stuff that's going on. We're talking about just taking pharmaceutical drugs, adverse effects, and dying because of the drug. 100,000 per year. 100,000 per year, just in the United States. That's nowhere else. So with this being said, let's talk about Allison. Allison, and I can't, if you notice, all the people that go, this is the tea is great, and so, I took this, and this is what happened. There's all kinds of people saying all kinds of good stuff. I can't put it on my website anymore because the FDA says those are claims. I say, yeah, but I'm not making those claims.
No, wait.
You're using that as an advertisement, and you can't use that as an advertisement.
You mean you can't use testimonials from
No, I can as long as the testimonials basically have no weight. In other words, when I say no weight, you say, hey, I had supplement X, and it cured me of X. Okay, you can't say that, even if it's a testimonial, because if it's a testimonial, you're making a claim. I'm using Joe that said vitamin X cured him of his X. Okay, so it's a claim. I can't do that. So you'll notice my website's been stripped pretty heavily because I need to be FDA compliant, or you'll never get these products. Okay. And the products are really good with a lot of things. So I'm going to talk in a FDA format, and you do the rest. Okay? So
that's fair. That's fair.
I have Allison Advanced,
okay,
which will keep your blood pressure, help you keep blood pressure in the normal range. Okay? Let me tell you about Allison so you understand the actual what it is. Allison is a part of garlic. Now, a lot of people get, I don't like garlic because it smells or it comes out my pores or my breath or whatever. This really won't do that because it's the healing part of the garlic clove. So when you bruise garlic and it starts to get black, then it'll get back and get better again. That's because Allison's being released to heal the garlic clove. To heal the garlic clove. Wow. So that Allison is in my formula. And that's why it's called Allison Advanced, because it does a lot of really neat things about keeping things in the normal range. And I have a brand new product called Heart Love. I'm very excited about this. Why? Because it also has Allison in it. It has Allison, it has pine bark, olive leaf, bilberry, B6, and curcumin, which is kind of an anti-inflammatory. And why is it called Heart Love? Because we have to love our heart. In other words, we need to take care of ourselves. Exercise is good, But some people just have a real problem with exercise. They can't do it. Their mind is really their biggest enemy when it comes to exercise. But they just, maybe they don't feel good. Their joints are screwed up. We can go on and on.
Well, what is in Heart Love? I love the name of it. So what ingredients do you have in Heart Love?
Allicin, pine bark, olive leaf, bilberry, vitamin B6, and curcumin, which is from turmeric. So these are all beautiful things. And I want to kind of revisit one. We've talked about the niacin Advance, but I'm going to go off the charts here and just tell you, do your homework on niacin, because my niacin Advance has also got curcumin in it. It's got some neat stuff in it that really will kind of change your ways. It's got cayenne pepper, turmeric, and this stuff will really help you. But let me tell you something about niacin. It is, if you have poor circulation, this is kind of like Roto-Rooter. This goes through your veins and helps you with your veins so you can get nice, good blood flow. So if you're kind of not a blood flow person, you're having a hard time, now I have to warn you, niacin will make you flush. So there's 150 milligrams of niacin in my niacin Advanced formula. And what that does is when I say flush, it'll make you turn red, you'll get itchy, and you'll turn red. Did I say that? Like an apple? It only lasts about 10 or 15 minutes, but you'll notice that you feel so much better afterwards. And I wish I could tell you all the things that niacin does for you, but there's a lot of doctors making a lot of claims, full-on doctors, MDs, making claims about niacin and talking about your circulatory and talking about cardiovascular and everything else. So I wish I could give you the information myself, but I can't. So you can go look it up on the internet and know that I have organic, non-fillers. So anytime you buy a product from me, there's no fillers, there's no wheat, rice flour, none of this garbage just to fill the pill up. It's all the real deal. There's no GMOs, and it's all organic with certificates. So I am real finicky about my products and making sure that they're best of the best. But you do not want to be the one in 3 deaths with cardiovascular. And it's really important to take care of yourself in that way. And a couple of things that you just take from me, you could just be good to go. That's what's important.
Ronnie, I just want you to know, we are hearing from so many people who love your tea, who love your supplements. I mean, we get emails. We get folks telling us that they feel so much better. The toxins are out of their body. And my wife and I, we drink your tea all the time. I mean, we drink it all the time. It's like every 3 days we make a batch of tea.
It's important too, Pastor, to realize, you talk about the tea all the time. That's so wonderful. And people go, oh, I don't drink tea. Let me tell you something, okay? Imagine if you drank a poison, okay? And this poison went into your belly and you were feeling ill. And so you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh, well, you can just take this right here, and you take something else, and you put it on top of the poison that's already in. Don't you need to get rid of the poison before you take something else? So the point being is, these supplements that we talk about, they all work. But if you really want to put a supercharger on them, you need to detox, because then it gets rid of the chemicals, the heavy metals, all the garbage in you. And once you get rid of that, and then you supplement, it's like a supercharger. It's like, superpower. And if you don't detox, yes, the supplements will help you, but less.
You got the big 3 also, Ronnie. You got the big 3. Tell us what your savings is. What's the big 3?
The big 3 is colostrum and allicin Advanced, which we just talked about, and the detox tea. So, and you might want to say, well, okay, for those of you new listening, colostrum, by the way, if you got tummy problems, you're going to want some colostrum. And you just put about 2 to 3 tablespoons in about 6 ounces of water. You can get chocolate or vanilla, and it's all organic. It's all good. It's bovine colostrum, so it's all good for you. And if you're lactose intolerant, this has just very, 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 very little lactose. So if you're lactose intolerant, you're probably going to be okay. If you're really super lactose intolerant, or like you can't have any, then you want to check with your doctor and do that whole thing. But it will help you so much rebuild problems in your stomach. People need to realize that all disease starts in the stomach. We think it starts somewhere else. It starts in the stomach. So when you take care of the stomach, you're taking care of a lot of other things. And if you don't take care of your stomach, and again, this is GMOs, where does it go? Stomach. Where does your pesticides go? Stomach. So all these bad things, poisons, stomach. Everything that chemicals and heavy metals, and stomach. So all this goes in the stomach, then the organs are trying to feed, and you're in trouble. So you want to get a detox. And what's cool about the tea is it's a mild detox. Just drink it every day. That's all you do. Drink it every day, and you're going to feel better. If you're overweight, you're going to lose a little bit of weight. I don't push it as a weight loss program because it's not, but you will lose a little bit of weight. And if you go off the tea, you're going to gain all that weight right back. So just so you know, when you do the tea, you're going to lose a little bit of weight, and then your supplements are going to work like way better than if you didn't detox.
So, Ronnie, you talk about the digestive system. You have a product called GI Joy. Okay. I love the name. But is that like, tell us what the GI Joy, what it has and what it does.
Well, it's, for those of you that, if you're really jacked up in the stomach, you need the bag of colostrum, which is in the big 3. But if, let's just say your stomach's, it's there, it's bothering you, but not super crazy, or it just bothers you once in a while, the GI Joy, and the GI Joy is also another supplement as well as just the bag colostrum, because the GI Joy has colostrum in it, but it also has acidophilus, which is like a probiotic. So it goes and tries to repair things that are wrong. It also has peppermint, and people don't realize that peppermint really helps stomach aches. Okay, just natural peppermint. So
really,
it's also got aloe, and aloe is a kind of a coater, so it coats your stomach and makes you feel better. And there's a lot of healing properties in the aloe plant. So this is kind of a mixture that I put together. And let me tell you something: people are buying this left and right. And this just tells me. And the same thing with colostrum. You would not believe how much colostrum I sell. Why? Because people are hurting in their tummies. They're hurting bad. And let me tell you something, when you got a tummy ache, when it feels like a flu, and you're like, oh, and you're doubled over, can you enjoy Thanksgiving? Can you enjoy Christmas?
No!
Can you enjoy a birthday? No. Can you go to church and feel good? No.
No!
It's a different look. When we're sick, we don't see things correctly. So we got to stop being sick, and we can change that with a diet, with exercise, and supplementing, and you can be a whole new person.
Ronnie, that's why I really like your company. Folks, getthetea.com. You just go to his website, getthetea.com. A Christian company, a great guy. Ronnie and that's what's so cool. He is sincere. He wants people to be healthy. He wants you to live a good life. He wants you to live it to the fullest. And that's really what the Bible promised us in the word of the Lord. That's one of the promises. Paul said, I would that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So, It's good to be physically healthy. I mean, you feel good, good things happen in your life. If you're feeling terrible and miserable, then, it affects your attitude, your emotions, everything else, Ronnie.
If you're going to live for the Lord, how do you do that when you're sick? How do you do that when you can't raise your hands, you can't look up, you just feel like, oh, I feel like I'm going to die. And when you feel like you're going to die, your whole mental state is completely changed. So there's ways to fix this without going to the doctor and getting on drugs. Now, some of us, we have to go to the pharmaceuticals and we have to go to the doctor, and that's fine, and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. But some of us, we get a little addicted and say, hey, doctor, saw that drug right there, makes me grow long hair. I think I want that. There's something wrong with that. So we need to have balance. I think balance is a big word.
It's so true, folks. It's so true. And get a good balance in your diet, exercise, your prayer life, your social life. Everything needs to have a solid balance in it. And I think that's what you do here with these products. I mean, you're more the expert on this for sure. And that is you take the time to research, to find the good herbs, the good natural, organic herbs that can be put into these supplements that really help us. In America, we're dealing with GMOs, folks. Let's just be honest. The genetically modified. I mean, I'm right here in corn country. I mean, right here where the guys, where Monsanto, and I shouldn't say any names, but these guys are just down the road. A lot of these folks that are actually the inventors of the genetically modified corn. And we see a lot of health problems all around us here because, Ronnie, this is where it's being grown.
Well, I'll tell you something for the people, and you do with it what you want. I'm not telling you what to do, but it would be my opinion that you should not eat corn anymore. Here's why. Most of it, 80-90% of it, has been infiltrated by GMOs, so you're going to be jacked up if you start eating it. And I know it's sweet, tastes good, blah, blah, blah. Here's another reason. It's huge on simple carbs, which means you're going to get hugely fat eating corn. Yeah. And everybody likes a nice fresh ear of corn. I can tell you I crave it at times. But if I know that it's poisonous in so many ways, poisonous with carbohydrates that's going to make me feel bad, and poisonous with GMOs, then is it such a good thing to eat?
No.
And you just have to put it in your mind. And if you change your mind about a lot of things, you'd be surprised how good you feel. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter what disease you want to take care of your circulatory, you want to take care of your cardiovascular. That's why I was telling you about the allicin and the heart love and the niacin. Those are three beautiful things. If you're having stomach problems, we talked about that. And, of course, for those of you who love the tea, there's been a lot of Paul Begley people that love the tea. I'll just give you a little hint. It's going to be Black Friday real soon, and you're going to want to be watching my website on Black Friday, and because I'm going to have something really, really cool.
You're going to have. Lovers. There's going to be some. Is it some? You're doing a special. You got a new Black Friday that's coming up.
Great. It's going to be wonderful.
I'm going to be watching.
People are going to go nuts. They're going to love it. So it's going to be great.
Okay, so folks, you heard it here. Ronnie's giving you a heads up on Black Friday. Be sure you go to getthetea.com and get the tea at getthetea.com. There's going to be a special waiting.
The tea.
Ronnie.
No, that's good. And you know what? Also, please do me a favor and let me know that Pastor Paul is what you're listening to, and that's what kind of got you to go in to get the tea. And you know, because it's really important. You know, I love Pastor Paul. You know, this helps his ministry, and this is helping. This is what's really cool, Pastor. It's helping you, but it's helping the people because you guys are going to do a lot better if you take this stuff and feel better than you would if you didn't. And so that's the cool thing. And you're helping Pastor. And everybody's getting something out of it. It's kind of like we're all a team. And teamwork is the way to go. So please, if you buy something from Get the Tea, please tell them that Pastor sent you, and so he can get the recognition there.
Ronnie, appreciate it greatly. Thank you so much. And again, what a powerful, informative broadcast. I mean, folks, we're not afraid to take on the big questions, the big issues. And Ronnie, he's on the front line of your health. Ronnie McMullen, getthetea.com. Ronnie, appreciate you being with us again today.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Appreciate it. It's always fun.
Guys, I'll see you next time right here on the broadcast.